In this video, we're at episode 3 of the Deluge Bootcamp series to take a dive into the very first level of sound design. It is recommended to watch this video at least once a day for a few weeks until you get a grasp of these features. It will stick with you when you practice, even 5 to 10 minutes a day until it's ingrained. Let's turn it on. So we're back in clip view mode as before. This time we're going to create a new synth preset. All you have to do is press Shift and Synth. Now it says new, so let's listen to it. Okay, so it's a little loud, so first thing we're going to do is change volume. We're going to press this. Volume says on the top, so that means it's the top gold knob. We'll just turn it down. As you can see, this light moves as I turn it. We just want this to be a little lower than my voice, so it's mixed well. So this area that we're going to be going over is a set of controls that's going to mold the sound. These all can be custom assigned, but for now we're just going to go over the default settings for each of these parameters. This synth has 2 oscillators. Oscillators are the part of the unit that makes the buzzing sound. When we initialize the synth preset, it currently only has 1 oscillator, and the oscillator is currently set to square. It's just a square wave. For now we won't be changing any of the deeper functions, but only the first level, so this will stay on the default square tone. As we look at these buttons, we'll see that there's words above and below each one. The top word currently controls the top gold knob, and the bottom word controls the bottom knob. So this first one, top one, is volume, and the bottom is panning, so you can hear it if you're wearing headphones. Now if we want this to go back to center, we don't see any visual here, so we have to look right here, bring it to the middle, until it blinks. That means it's set to the very center. Right here, the top knob is Cutoff. It's a filter that's currently low pass. It means it's going to cut through the high tones of the sound. It's almost like cupping your hand over your ear. Down here is resonance. Resonance will extend the sharpness of the effect. So if I turn it up, you hear that. That can make it even more sharp. Or you can have it kind of mellow, so it's still there but not too much. Now if we bring it way up, now it's generating its own tone. So let's bring it all the way back down. If I press the bottom gold knob, you can see it says drive 12 decibels or 24 decibels. So that's a different kind of low pass frequencies that we can use. So this is 12 decibels. Set the resonance to the middle. 24 decibels. And then drive. Let's crank that up. I'm going to leave it on 12. We'll just open it all the way up with no resonance. If I tap the upper gold knob, we're going to switch between high pass filter, EQ, back to low pass. So high pass filter, let's go in a lower note here. Now let's turn it up. High pass cuts out the lower end. You might want to use headphones for this. So it just cuts out the low end. I'm going to turn up the resonance and bring it up a little. Now you can hear it's actually boosting a little bit in the frequency that we're on because the resonance is turned up. So we're going to bring it down back to default position, bring all the way down because we don't want it to cut off any low end right now. Let's click again. We're in EQ. This is bass. This is treble. So this is one way to thicken up your synth sound. If you think it sounds thin, play like a lower note. And we're in EQ, so we're going to turn up the bottom gold knob. Now listen if you're wearing headphones. That sounds pretty warm. I don't know how much more thicker you could get. That's just one oscillator. And then we're bringing up the treble, and you can hear that. Maybe I'll turn that down a little bit and then just crank the bass. Now again, back to this. If we're in low pass, the bottom knob switches between the different modes. The top gold knob switches between high pass EQ and low pass. The next button here controls the attack and release. The top one is attack. So in other words, when I tap the finger on the note, I can have it go immediate if it's all the way down, or you can slowly ramp it up. Hear it fading in as I'm turning it up. All the way up takes a longer time. So you can imagine that as a ramp. Now the bottom gold knob is release, so it works the same way as the attack. So it immediately stops, but if we want it to fade out a little, I just turn it up a little. Like when I let go, it's going to fade out. And the higher you bring that, the longer that note's going to ring out. That's a long one if it's all the way maxed. So I'll leave it off for now. Next we have delay. The top gold knob is a delay time, which is not synced to the tempo. We'll learn more about the deeper controls in another episode. The bottom knob controls the feedback. This is the amount we're feeding the tape signal back into itself. Now be careful with that feedback knob. In this mode, you can really overdrive the signal, and it can get really loud if you turn it up too much, as you can hear. So it's barely even past half, and it's can get to scary volume levels here. So we probably want to have that lower. Now let's change that time. That sounds more metallic because it's a very short time when it's up. Now we can change that time. You can hear how it changes the pitch when we change that. But it goes longer and longer. Now the top knob, if I press it, it switches between ping pong, which goes left and right speaker, or normal, which just keeps it right in the middle. Pressing the bottom knob changes it to analog or digital. So analog, you can really crank up the feedback. And it stays there and it doesn't really get too loud. So it's kind of nice. Let's go higher notes. Let's just crank it up all the way. Turn down the feedback and it'll stop, slowly fade out. So again, the top knob, if we push it, ping pong or normal. If we press the bottom one, digital or analog. Again, if you're in digital, make sure that feedback is lower because it can really boost to very loud levels. Let's make sure delay is all the way down. On the next mode, we see Sidechain, which we'll cover in another episode, and we have reverb down here. The bottom knob will change the amount of reverb to apply. So you can hear it, we'll just crank it up. Okay. If we press the gold knob, we can switch the size, small, medium, or large. Large, let's try small, and medium. I just turned off the reverb. This next set is vibrato, or pitch modulation, and it's actually running through LFO1. LFO is just a slower wave than sound. So it's a low frequency oscillator. The top knob changes the rate or speed of the pitch LFO, and the bottom knob is the amount we want to change the pitch. So if we want it to be subtle, you can turn it up, you can hear it, and you can go faster or slower. We'll bring it up. Now this is going to bring the amount that its pitch is going to change from. That's already in non-musical places, but you can do a lot with this. So it's really fast. Make some interesting sounds there. And then back to normal. So if you want to do some kind of like nice sounds, bring it in just a little from the bottom. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go back here. Let's turn up the release. Now we're going to go back into here. Turn up the rate. Let's say turn down the modulation. Maybe slower. Maybe even slower than that. Let's turn this all the way down, and now it's not going to have any modulation. Next we see Stutter. Now this doesn't work on the synth track, so it's not really used currently. The bottom one is Custom. Custom 1 on the bottom is Portamento or Note Slide. So you hear that. Now we're going to turn it up slightly. The higher we go here, it's like a note slide. You can turn it, make it really subtle and fast or long. If you turn it really high. Let's turn that all the way down. And last we have Custom 2 and Custom 3. Here is Decimation. So that's decimating the tone. The bottom is Bitcrush. Oh, that really messes up the signal. So let's make a little sequence here and play with some of these settings. Let's make that faster. We're going to hold down Learn, press left right knob, copied. I'm going to zoom in and paste here. We're going to bring this back, shift, left right knob. So now we're just playing this first couple of notes. Let's slow down the tempo. Let's move this in one note. Now it's just playing 3 notes. Maybe go a little faster. Let's try that decimation, see what it does. Maybe some Bitcrush. Turn up the volume. Turn on some analog delay. Remember, we can hold down a note and change the value. Just turning that up. Let's turn up the reverb. Hold down up, down knob, turn. Bring it up an octave. Let's turn down the decimation. Wow. Let's turn down the cutoff. Changing the notes by dragging them. Turning up the Portamento. Turning down the release. Well, that sounds different. Turn up the attack a little. Turning up release again. Let's go up one more octave. Turning up decimation. Vibrato, let's bring that in. Well, we just turned it way up. Bring it down octave. Hold down left, right. Hold down up, down knob, turn left. Lower. Turn up the resonance. Turn down some of that decimation, bit crushing. Turn the feedback down. Shift, tap down. We just deleted automation for this feedback. Now I'm going to delete the automation for the delay time. Turn that part down. Turn down the reverb a little. Switch it to 12 decibels. High pass, bring that up. Resonance. Let's change the notes. Maybe turn off Portamento. Lower, hold down up, down knob, turn left. Turn down the resonance. Let's go into EQ. Let's turn up the high end and the low end. Press down the top gold knob, low pass. We can do a lot more than this. Turn down the high pass. Down the volume a little. There we go. Nice amount of pitch bend at a slow rate. Sounds nice. Let's turn down the attack so now it's going to sound more plucky. Let's turn down release a little. That clears up a little. Doesn't have as much fade out per note. Turn it way down. Maybe up a little bit. Switch to LPF. Bring that up. Turn up resonance a little. Let's add some reverb.